Hello everyone, Agion here, another Steel Division Normany 44 replay. Spawn on the south side as George's boys, we have Fancy Pants. Spawn on the north side as the SS Panzergrenadier, we have a Lennart. Do in fact see the Ace Abrams unit out here. That's the most notable thing I can see out on the field at the moment. A lot of infantry heading to the city, not big surprise. A lot of infantry actually heading to the right side here. And he is sending over just a few defending units. Both sides are going to commit a lot of infantry to the center of the city, and we're only going to see perhaps the MG42, MG34 over here. Got a command unit along with an IG-18 field gun right here, and looks like there's going to be more infantry for the Allies. But these are in fact storm troops, but they're getting hit by the initial rifles, and I'm actually getting hit by a bit of lag. Oh well. Stormtroopers, they received one squad really quite a bit of losses, and the Panzergrenadiers got pinned down immediately. So this game should heavily go in favor of George's boys. These are riflemen. They do have 12 members, 2 Brownings, automatic rifles. So they have quite a bit of good range firepower. We've got Battenham here, over a couple defending riflemen. Various infantry over here. It looks like this rifleman hasn't gone into cover. Got substantial stormtroopers over here. He placed them so they're in a very good ambushing position in case his opponent's going to push up those bushes. Currently, the field control is still 50-50. Reinforcing infantry coming to the line. SS Panzergrenadier. I believe they are a bit limited in battle phase A with infantry call-ins, but look, the income is about 5 less for the Panzergrenadier division, 5 less in once again in battle phase B, and then it will even out in battle phase C. So it looks like it will be fighting with combat efficiency for quite a bit of the game. The stormtroopers are going to be engaging the riflemen. They are firing off all their SMGs. You got MG42 here providing some support. But we do got this Abrams tank moving forward, but there's Panzerfaust on these units, so he has to be very careful. Sometimes sending armor to sent town can be quite effective depending what division you're playing against. These units do in fact have Panzerfaust on the stormtroopers, so not exactly ideal. But these Panzergrenadiers do not have LMGs, or not. Excuse me, does not have Panzerfaust. So having the Abrams tank go into town against them is perfectly fine. Battenham will go down to the field gun. And you got riflemen now engaging in the same house as the Panzergrenadiers. Of course, with more members, they will win out no problem. More Panzergrenadiers are coming to the line. They do have an SMG, only 1-star veterancy, but that's probably from also from the officer nearby. Abrams providing 1-star veterancy for all these units, so veterancy is quite even at the moment. You got a mortar team now moving forward. Basically, AT along the flanks. Maybe those Dows took it out. Nope, that was definitely the field gun based on the trees. And somebody's walking around upstairs. We do got a mortar half-track now coming to the front line. Well, not exactly front line, behind the front line, supporting the front line. There we go. And these Panzergrenadiers are going to get pinned down. These riflemen are close enough that perhaps can force surrender if they hop forward. Overall, very good engagements by the allied player. Haven't seen this flank pushed forward, but he has stormtroopers and not exactly great in open fields. You got Nebel Warfare 41 aiming and now firing onto these infantry units. Does have a large scatter, close support, danger close support. Rolls a bunch of misses, only did minor damage, not all too effective. Now has to wait for the supply truck, so that's a very expensive investment for something I really didn't do too much at the moment. The officer did in fact go down. You do got to surrender there. Oh yeah, the officer prevented the surrender, of course. Multiple surrenders coming to the front line. Now just only leaving this field gun to defend. I think it is being fired in within minimum range. Not exactly sure if these guys do have minimum range or not, but it's not returning fire. Machine gun coming to the front to the line. Overall, some very good engagements by the U.S. player, George's boys. There goes that transport. Losing that is not exactly good. And this Abrams has a has a very good line of sight. In fact, it could almost hit the Nebula if it wasn't behind that small little bit of tree. Looks like this rifleman will get pinned down thanks to the fire, it being standing in some fire a bit. Now the field gun will get hit by the 2 mortar half-tracks. The first shot, I get a very good hit. The second shot lands and kills it. Those are 2 very good shots. And my sister, who is visiting right now, has her dog howling upstairs. If it's ever alone, it starts howling. Want to have attention. We've got an officer unit coming forward. Does not want to risk the officer from the Abrams tank. It's very vulnerable. It can be quite vulnerable. Pack gun set up on this tree line could hit it quite easily. Do in fact have a Stug coming forward. The Stug has 14 armor penetration, but only 8 armor, so this Abrams can in fact engage it. However, the Stug's more slot out the win out with the higher armor penetration. Does have a better base accuracy, much better base accuracy as well. Abrams only has 4 base accuracy with the 2 stars at 6, versus the 6 accuracy plus 2 stars, which is a grand total of 8 accuracy, can also still be improved by an officer for a grand total of 9. Stormtrooper threw out a couple smokes, but we'll get pinned down thanks to the rifleman here. We do got an M8 Greyhound here. There's another field gun or artillery piece coming forward. Battalion will in fact go down, most likely to the AT gun or to the field gun. These mortar half-tracks are just wreaking havoc on the front line. The Stug is moving forward, does have a pedal mount as well as 4 HE round of 4. HE value of 4, so it's not half bad for finding infantry. Abrams has a HE level of 5. And this MG42 will have trouble versus these riflemen inside the garrison. And the mortars don't really help either. So Constance unit's going to be moving forward, but easily be taken out. Most likely it was spotted, at least the transport anyways. Field gun's now getting hit by the Abrams tank. This Pack 38 is going to reposition. It needs to get within 100 meters. Yeah, it can penetrate within this range. Only with 2 models, and plus the mortar half-tracks being very responsive, be very hard in order to make it stay alive for any longer. Field guns are now getting wiped out. Holy crap, these things are accurate. He's getting some very accurate shots off those mortar half-tracks. So I have one set of stormtroopers here, as well as the officer unit to help and get them some more veterancy. Officer unit's getting hit. We'll be throwing out a smoke. Very nice. It has a couple smokes of its own, up to 3. Stormtroopers could try moving forward. The Pack's going to be repositioning to hit the M8. And can that dog shut up? Weapon damage, so there goes all the ammo. I don't think my microphone's actually picking up thanks to the noise gate program. And now we do got a Sherman 105 coming on out. The Sherman 105 has a little star right there. Never mind. Has 120 meter range. It does have the extended range, making it a very good suppression platform, especially versus the AT guns. Against the Pack 38, where it only has 10 arm penetration, at max range, it won't be able to penetrate it, while the 105 can easily take it out. Looks like the Stormtrooper managed to force the rifleman to surrender. Not a big surprise that it has excellent SMGs. Looks like do got assault being rated up for the left side. Only MG42 here team to defend. Do got another AT gun moving forward, and there goes the Stormtroopers getting forced to the pin down. Riflemen sort of make their way forward, and if he gets to that the squad in time, he can force the surrender. Even if he doesn't make it to it in time, he can just provide a couple shots. It'll probably immediately be pinned down as well. He could throw out a smoke, help perhaps try to increase his longevity, try to stall out for more decreased suppression values. You got a GMC munitions truck coming forward to resupply the M8 as well as the M21s. The weapon damage did, of course, destroy all of its ammo. There goes a stormtrooper, gets gunned down. Reinforcing infantry coming on the line. Battle phase B has been initiated for about 40 seconds now. Rebel Warfare firing off its second barrage, rolling a huge miss there. And now we got the mortar half-tracks eyeing for a counter barrage, or I think he didn't realize the Nebel Warfare was way back there. I think he just did a quick barrage where he think it came from. I don't know. We got more stormtroopers now moving forward. Pioneer Fuhrer also inspiring the frontline men. He does have a bundle grenade himself, so he can defend himself quite well. As well as some standard Pioneers. Pioneers, of course, do have the 2 bundle grenades here. These MAs will be problematic for a time being. They have no counter out on the field. We do got some auto cannon help resist. Ooh, he may lose this transport. Well, the Pioneers do in fact get out in time. Now we start having anti-tank support coming forward. We do got the Hellcat. Hellcat does have the M5 AT gun equipped, which means it has 13 armor penetration, making it an excellent tank destroyer. It does have the extended range as well, and it's very fast and very mobile. Of course, only lightly armored. We got the Stuka coming forward. Now we do got the B-26 B-10 Marauder. This is a heavy gunned bomber, fighter bomber. It's a bomber with a bunch of guns. It has what? 6. It looks different right here. It says it has 5 right here, which I think it doesn't properly display it down here. But it has, I think, 5 frontals. I think 2 sides and 2 rears. It does do quite a bit of good suppression unit. I always wonder how effective this is versus various targets, but it looks like it's doing excellent suppression. Now you got the Hellcat trying to take it out. The Stug, if it penetrates, it will destroy the Hellcat or main weapon destroyer, or bailed out, or anything of that sort. So it will penetrate no matter what. We got a Marauder M coming forward, Marauder 3M, which does have 13 armor penetration itself, only 2 armor, and does not have a turret. So the AT gun will get picked off, and now there's 2 B-26s out on the field. We do got a single Flak 36 for defense, but these things can withstand quite a bit of fire as well as suppression. And this thing has plenty of ammo to use. Let's see what guns actually fire when strafing a target. Next time we see it strafing, we got the Marauder. Does in fact, let's see here. Oh, I was trying to see what weapons it uses. Like, what does this actually mean? Looks like it looks like this is perhaps the back and maybe side machine guns to defend itself. You got this Marauder now being hit by a strafing run. It is open top, so it can be destroyed. It received a huge amount of suppression damage, that's for sure. This 8A weapon's having trouble trying to ward away these aircraft. Does not take out the Marauder 3, but will force it back. Maybe sometimes that's just all you need. We got a Flak Irving. Flak Irving It's actually a weapon to provide suppression. This one will be forced to fall back. And that dog needs to stop barking. This one will be forced back. The Flak Irving's much better at forcing aircraft back, but the Flak 36 does have better range, so it has better coverage. Mortar half-tracks trying to suppress this advance, but looks like going to miss the Panzergrenadiers. Huge amount of ground has been gained. Looks like the tickets are still quite even, but in favor of the allied player. Field control is currently 50-50. There's a huge bulge being gained. Do get this Hellcat now being deployed out. Is this the same one? What did I... This one's not the same one. This one's going to be aiming on the officer unit. Nope, it's hitting the Flak Irving way over here. Where did I didn't see that other Hellcat go down? Huh, bit of a shame. The reconnaissance unit was spotted and taken out. The mortar half-track's trying to barrage the area, but rolling a bunch of misses. The Flak Irving does, in fact, go down. Here's the other Hellcat, so it looks like both Hellcats are still alive. Marauder trying to engage, but it does not have a turret, so we'll have longer aim time to start with. In fact, it was reverse moving that entire time. And make its way forward. You got a couple engineers over here. They do have TNT charges as well as a decent amount of bolt action. Well, not bolt action, Grands. Defend. But they won't really do much versus LMGs such as the Panzergrenadiers at long range. Mortar half-tracks getting some very good amount of suppression done here. Axis units making their assault. Looks like one Pioneer squad will get pinned down. Number of engineers on the front line. We got Hellcat repositioning. Abrams not going to attack the Stug. Oh, the Stug is down. How did the Stug go down? Must have been this Hellcat. Must have found an angle there and got a lucky shot and destroyed it. Hellcat's accuracy is 6, so it has decent accuracy. Losing that Stug is huge. And that pretty much just grinds the assault into a halt. We do got some Panzergrenadiers that they can find some heavy cover that can maintain this field control. We got tickets counting up in favor of the Axis player, but he needs to deploy some more armored assets. Hellcats will be problematic, so he needs to get some heavier armor. Perhaps, I can't remember what SS Panzergrenadier gets, but I think he can get some Battle Phase C Panthers, perhaps. I think, don't quote me on that. Do got a Pack 43. I do remember they can get one Pack 43 in Battle Phase A. If that means anything. Pack 43 does have HE rounds as well. You got some more Marauder 3s coming forward. Looks like the Marauder over here got destroyed. Right here, I didn't really see what took it out. May have been for the... These are Martyrs, not Marauders. Martyrs may have been taken out by the Marauder aircraft. More Battenins are coming forward. Since they have one armor, they're very resilient to infantry fire, making them actually reasonably effective. Of course, they have, what, 0... They do have, in fact, one side armor as well. Pioneers will be hit by the Hellcat as well as the Abrams. And now we've got some Stuarts being deployed on the front line. A bit unusual to see Stuarts in this time of the game, but they can be effective nonetheless. They do have, of course, 6 armor, 8 armor penetration. Looks like we got some field artillery being deployed out, 2,000 meter range. The Hellcat's now being engaging, trying to hit this 222. Looks like we rolled a couple misses. Maybe we're shooting over here. Wasn't really paying attention. Marauder coming in for a strafing round, and that dog, holy crap, just shut up. You may have been barking at a squirrel. It's inside. I think it was barking at a squirrel or something. You got some Stotch troop getting hit by the Marauder. It was only in light cover, so it was easy to spot. Stug 4 now being deployed to the front line. These guys do have 12 armor penetration as well as 12 armor, making them effective versus currently all current allied deployed units, or at least all armored units. It does not have a turret, however, so it can be easily flanked. It has only 4 side armor as well. Oh, those Panzergrenadiers got gunned down. Marauder trying to line up a shot, but it's at a very close range. The Hellcat's going to get the first shot first, but he will back off to prevent him from getting the first shot off. This Marauder does, in fact, have 2 stars, making it very accurate. At this range, it may be perfectly accurate. Got a strafe run coming on in. This will eventually suppress the Marauder. Almost does with the first run, and that run should... Actually, no. He lost sight of it, so it's just force firing the ground where it last saw it. We've got a priest out in the field as well. A lot more reinforcing infantry. Pack 43 will be forced back once again. It still has its 1 member. Amazing how 1 man can lift that heavy gun. And whoa, holy crap, how many of these... Oh wait, no, these are just P-38s. So he has air escort as well as the B-26s. Field control is in favor of the allied player at 54% +1. And these strafing runs are being very problematic. We got air incendiary coming out, but there is P-38s out on the field, and there's 2 of them. He immediately called for withdrawal, but there's no AA weapons to protect them. P-38s are faster, so you can catch up. They just can't turn as good. We'll get ripped apart quickly and easily. He's lost air superiority. He needs to deploy anti-aircraft weapons, but he needs to deploy other things on the ground as well. These cheaper engineers. Holy crap, he has a lot of engineers alive. He still has a couple rifles still left. A lot of engineers. If his opponent makes any advance, he will get blown up. Stug's even being strafed as well. We do got an Opal Blitz. I think that's a Flak Irving, but could be the 37mm as well. Got some standard Sherman M4A1s being deployed out in the field. It is a Flak Irving. Looks like he rolled a bunch of misses there. The Flak Irving will get a good amount of suppression onto these Marauders, but they're already running low on fuel. Perhaps you should, P-38s I think are forced out as from lack of fuel as well. This one still has a bit of fuel. And there goes that Hellcat quickly by the Pack 43. Any infantry advance will just meet by demolition charges. So I think the allied player has this game in the bag. Only he has +2 tickets. Yeah, he has this game in the bag. There's no way his opponent can deploy enough to defend, let alone counterattack. Transmission damage the first shot. That's going to be a bit problematic for future engagements. War infantry being deployed to the line. Nebel warfare's only reloading. There goes Abrams to a Stug 4. Our troops will either meet us then by SMGs or by demolition charges. Looks like demolition charge. Threw it out, and most likely, boom. Nope, he got surrendered. He was forced to surrender, even though there's a demolition charge chasing after him. Couple pin downs here, so he probably will secure a couple surrenders here. But oh, the Hellcat will force the evac out of that one unit. There are stormtroopers, but stormtroopers are only 5 members. They're actually quite vulnerable to the TNT charges. And Hellcat will be hitting them with some HE rounds as well. Stug lining up a shot out of range of the Hellcat. Yeah, this game's pretty much over. I'm going to just go ahead and fast forward ×2. Stormtroopers trying to run down the engineers. He will probably force surrender if not kill them. Yeah. An anti-aircraft weapon being deployed, but he's lost air superiority. Never had it in the first place. He has lost a significant amount of fuel control, and with all the engineers just littering across the map, any advance will meet by TNT. WC-52 trucks coming out on the field, which they do have the Browning, as well as some sort of reconnaissance unit. I think it just could be simple 4-man squads. 6-man cavalry scouts, which they have 2 SMGs, 4 carbines, as well as a bazooka. These guys are actually quite reasonable. Carbines, they are equipped with a grease gun, as well as the carbine. In comparison, these 4-men carbines will fire 171 rounds per minute. In comparison to riflemen, 9 rifles is about twice as much, but that's 9 of them. But they do have, of course, 100 extra meter range, but 1 less accuracy. In other words, short, these cavalry scouts are quite effective at close range. How effective is the grease gun in comparison to the Thompson? With 2 of them there, that's still 171 versus the engineers. Oh, looks like same rate of fire. Just looks different. Same accuracy as well, so they just look different. Still, it's pretty much the same weapon. Unless I didn't really check the HE value. 6 and 6. So yeah, pretty much the same. Anti-aircraft weapons that he tried to deploy are cleaned up. We've still got a flak Irving here. You may, in fact, this bomber does have the rear gunner, which forces away along with the P-38. Second priest has been deployed out. The mortar half tracks are right here, very far forward, out of running low on HE. There goes a flak Irving, a very vital anti-aircraft weapon, but this game's pretty much in downhill for the Axis player. Still have sustained a lot of this field control thanks to the Panzergrenadier unit, but now he's starting to approach forward, capturing up all that territories, cavalry scouts, engineers, as well as a steward. Oh, I think he knows where the Panzergrenadier unit based on this little bit of field there. Now, you could always attack, but... Oh, there you go. Vision has been spotted by the Panzergrenadiers. Took out the truck, but that got ripped apart. And that's going to get ripped apart quite easily. More anti-aircraft weapons coming forward, but it's just too late in the game. Black Irvings will force away some of the aircraft. 2 of them will have quite a bit of rate of fire. And there we go, he finally surrenders. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.